All right, guys, I just want to welcome you again to this process, or I say to this program of to make you guys expertise in the Python program, right? And this is under the initiative of IIEC community and name called Rise. Okay, so I think this may be seventh or eighth session of this particular program, and lots of core basics. Even though we started the things from very much from the basics, right? But again, if you go to the first day, I'll start every bit from the basics. Even though we'll start from the topic called what is variable, what is the use of the programming language, and something like this, right? But every bit that I'm talking about here, or every every particular chunk I am talking about here. So let's say if I say x equals to 5, so you guys know x is a variable in 5-way data. So there I raise one particular a question over here that we know data is stored on the memory, on the RAM. So just go and let's try to find some way through which we can go and read the memory. This is one example, right? Likewise, even though in my last class, guys, I have talked about, because in this journey of Python, we also learning about the full stack development, right? So because we are learning about the full stack development, so we also have to know something about web technology, right? So in the web technology, normally we have to start the thing from HTML, and in the HTML we have a form. We have the form, and form we have a some concepts called read button or checkbox. So even though it's a very basic thing, but nobody think about the right meaning of those basic concepts, because everything that is developed in this particular technological world is built from the basics. It built from the core, right? Nowadays, we have started giving those higher end things name called framework. But those framework, guys, they build on the top of the basics or the core. And if your core is not strong enough, and if you directly jump to work directly on the framework, for example, in the Python, one of the web technological framework, maybe Django or maybe Flask, or maybe you want to do something kind of big data analysis, then we have a framework or a Spark or the Hadoop. Or you want to do something on the top of machine learning or deep learning, then we have a Keras or maybe PyTorch or something like this, right? So so if you don't have your base or clear core clear, and any kind of new requirement come up, any kind of customized requirement come up, you will stuck there. And that particular point in time, the world need a technical guy who has real core knowledge. And that is one of the reason that's one of the reason whenever any great job come in the market, especially in the top company like Google, right, they always check your core skills. And now because of this 2020, this year, now everything has been changed, so requirement again been changed. So I've talked a lot about, I highly recommend just go through my last session that I conducted on last Sunday. I think the session number might be 7, right? There I talk about what scenario has been changed and what kind of technological requirement now big company like Google or Facebook or maybe Amazon or another company will have, right? But again, this training is not about those different technology, but approach would be same, where whatever we are discussing in this particular process of Python, I keep on emphasizing more on the concept of right education, right? Knowing the meaning of the existing platform technologies, programming language. That's what we are doing here, and we have started the process with the Python language. But today's, guys, today is very important because my plan is to show you something very interesting demo today, and something very interesting practical today. So what exactly sorry, what exactly we are going to do today? Okay, we are going to integrate Python as a programming language, with our mic or with our speaker. Okay, typically in the simple term, I mean to say, we are going to create a voice control system. So from your voice, okay, when you speak, your program understand what exactly you're talking about, and accordingly they take the decision. Accordingly they will do something what exactly you wanted them to do. And guys, it is very interesting concept that we are going to build today. The concept is very interesting. Why? Because sorry, because if you talk about Google Assistant, or if you talk about Alexa, or if you talk about in iPhone we have a Siri, right? So again, they also understand the voice control system, right? They understand what exactly we are talking about. So if you ask, now I have my iPhone with me, and as soon as I say hello Siri, so Siri, or maybe I go to Cortana, or maybe I go to Alexa, they understand, they understand what I'm talking about, and they initiate their system. And now I can ask them, can you call this number, or can you open the Google map and just navigate the route to go there, something like this, right? So I think everybody is very comfortable with this particular these particular apps, right? But at such in the technological field, we don't have actually app created for the technological guys. Just for example, I have right now one program called Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, this is the program I have. So I don't have as such a program available where I can say, hey system, can you do one thing in my Oracle VirtualBox? I have one operating system, Red Hat version 8. Can you please go and start this OS? Okay, so as such, this kind of program we don't have, right? We have to manually open, then click in this particular VM virtual machine, and then manually start. Or maybe if I want to do something like this, when my OS start, and if I say, what I'm talking about here, I would like to create a program, right? My program will listen to me, and this particular program get a feel, get a sense. They understand my voice, they understand my requirement, and by understanding the requirement, they will do. For example, I'll say, can you please help me to log into this OS? So in this OS, I would like to log in with the account called root, because I think some of you guys have gone through my Linux videos. Okay, so can you please help me to log in with the root account? So right now, as such, we don't have a program right available. We have to manually go and log in to that particular account. But again, launching this OS is not again important for us, or login in this graphical screen called GUI is again not important for us. The important thing is, after you log in, this will become your operating system, maybe Windows or Linux, right? Inside this OS, what exactly you want to do? Okay, maybe you want to run the date command, calendar, you want to open the terminal, Firefox. After opening the Firefox, you want to go to Gmail, or maybe you want to connect to some API the way we have created in the last classes, or XYZ, I don't know. Maybe you'll say, anybody who know a little bit more about respective operating system. So maybe you'll ask your OS, can you please launch a web server for me? Can you please set up a database for me? Something like this, right? And if you know more about some other technology, can you launch Kubernetes cluster for me, Docker for me? Can you please go to AWS cloud and launch an instance for me? So it depends, guys, which technological background you guys come from. But yeah, obviously, but nowadays I don't recommend to just be belongs to one single technological background. You should know, if you want to survive or save your career, you should know almost all the technology, right? If you really want to survive for in the future world, right? There's a different point, but I believe you understand, guys, what exactly I'm talking about here. So the concept I'm going to discuss with you, as such, I don't think so. As such, this kind of app would be exist in this current market. Okay, but I can assure you, I can assure you, it might take lots of time and energy to build the complete app. Concept wise, very simple. In one day today, in one day, I will give you the entire concept of voice control. It won't take much time, but because after voice control enabled in your in your application, then how many feature you want to enhance, you want to add, that will take lots of time, because more technology you know, more commands you know, more programs you know, you keep on adding. The way we have, last classes we have created the menu, right? When I type in the menu, can you launch the notepad for me, or window media player for me? So more options you add, more facility you will get. So maybe this app will create took a lot of time to create, but approach of voice control won't be so much big. Just in one day today I will complete this topic. But for you guys, for all the guys who are registered with us in the IAC Rise, and I told you again, registration was free and this training is also free, and we are doing this training for some great goal and the great vision we have. Okay, so anybody who really work hard to add more facilities to this app. Okay, so guys, we will give you one great path to you. Okay, so this app who that would be you create, even though I'm giving you all of the knowledge here, but the app finally, whatever app you create, and if you have that much level of options available with the voice control according to according to the industry need. So guys, we will help you to connect you guys with the industry peoples. Okay, because most of the industry might, or not might, I say they need this kind of app today's. And you can think this would be your one product you have created, or you can think this would be one kind of a startup you guys have launched. And I am we or me or the IIC community is very much open to support you guys in all the form, in terms of maybe in the future you need some investors, you need some business mentors, you need some kind of high-end technical supports. Everything we will guys provide you. We obviously we won't charge you anything. It will be free for you, but because under the vision of making India future ready, because our plan to come up with this kind of products a lot. We want every product that industry need to be created from our nation, right? So, but it is again one good idea. As such, this kind of idea you won't get from the Google or from the net also. Okay, so I just want to invite you guys. Let's see who will take this particular idea to the next level. I just want to see that kind of curiosity or enthusiasm or zeal on you. And if you have, then we are very much open to support you guys, right? So finally, let's come to our main topic. If you want to make the application, obviously because we are learning Python here, so obviously from the Python that is controlled by the voice. Okay, how you can do it. Okay, that's what we are going to do today. Okay, so let's directly jump to the code and we'll see it. And for this, if you have guys gone through my last video classes, okay, there we have created some menu based program where initially, what we did we ask press 1, press 2, press 3 if you want to do something like this, and that program will do something for you. Then this menu based program, we converted some kind of phrases. Instead of we typing 1 2 3, we start typing like a chat message, right? And we'll say, we just type can you please run the date command for me. So my system understood the way we create the program, and they done this. And today the same kind of program we will convert into the voice control. So this will, guys, high level plan for today. But before you go for the voice based control, you have to do, or you have to learn some basics, right? So but by the end of the today class, you'll see how voice based control program work. Okay, but program may be very simple, right? Because I told you multiple times, none of the technology in the world is complex if you really know the right concepts, right? So maybe it will be very simple, but it's not about the simple. It's about how you are going to integrate this technological other things, and how you are using this idea and knowledge to solve some problem or some kind of use cases. So the most important thing for today's need in the industry, or the today's job, or today's or future job, is having the knowledge of integration. If you don't know how to integrate multiple things or multiple components, so it won't help, guys, to survive as a career perspective, right? That's what I can understand from the current market. Okay. So let's, guys, continue with the topic of voice based control system with the Python, right? So for this, I'm going to create the thing from very zero. Okay, and I'll go to my desktop, and I have one folder I already created here, and I'm just going to create a one file. I am in the Windows, so I'm giving the file name called menu.py. You can give any file name, and I'm just going to create, guys, the same program the way we have done already, very quickly, so I can convert this program into the voice base. Okay, so just in 5 minutes we'll have this program ready. So just we are printing welcome to my tool, something like this. You guys know how to do this, right? Means you know this concept, right? Then we'll say input. I'll say my Python, I don't want any new line, so can you please remove the new line. You guys know this, and whenever you ask the input, we'll take into the input. Or maybe here you might want a new line, but after the print, I have one more print instrument and say enter your choice. Very basic program, nothing fancy, but we have discussed already this particular program. And so when I type something here, after this input will ask me the input. It will go to the ch variable, and here in the ch variable, or I can say enter your requirement. I just want to create a menu that is look like we are talking to some human being, right? Not like to press 1 or press 2, typical system, right? And when somebody give the input, or the input may be something like this: can you please run the date command for me, or can you please show me the calendar? Okay, so in the last class I told you guys we can pick some word. If somebody write date somewhere in this ch as a string, right? If they find, then we know they are looking for running the date command, so we will run the date command. Or else if somebody in the phrase they write some, or they tell somewhere or write somewhere calendar, okay, in this phrase, so maybe they are looking for cal command. So let's me put only 2 command, but you know, guys, I believe this everybody is very much comfortable with this kind of menu, because we did this part in very detail. And maybe other things we can say not understand what exactly you're talking about. Okay, so very simple program. I'm not doing any typical thing here, just to printing something to test everything is working good or not. So if I run this particular program right now, I'm in my Windows. So they ask, tell me a requirement. So I say, can you run date for me. So just like a normal phrase of English we write, because we write somewhere date in between. Okay, date in between, then they understand, yes, we are talking about date, and they print the date. But right now, guys, my plan is not to print the date as a string. Okay, my plan is to run the date command here. And the interesting thing is, what I am going to do here, the most interesting thing, again guys, today's class is more about voice based control, but I'm just showing you the complete flow, and it is again very quick summary whatever we learned till date. Okay, so right now I'm in the Windows operating system and I have one more operating system running that is called Linux operating system. And guys, in my last classes, we have discussed from very zero level, very basics about the API, how we can create our own API. For the API, you have to make your system as a CGI server. And for the CGI server, we have to configure a web server. So this concept, guys, we have discussed from very basics, right? And everybody who has gone through those lectures, they know these concepts very well, right? And in the CGI server, we have run one backend program of Python. So one program we have created there. So I think I had created one program called iiec.py. Okay, and this program we have written some code, and this program say if somebody from the outside world input something, they take the input in some variable, and they treat this input as a command, and they run the output. So very quickly, let me show that particular code that we have built. Okay, so this is my Linux operating system, and right now if you talk about this system, my current IP in this particular system is IP 162. This is the IP of my Linux operating system, and we have a byteful connectivity between my Windows and my Linux. Or maybe you can, if you guys know a little bit more networking, you can do networking with some other systems, laptops and mobile phone also. Okay, or those who don't know about how to connect your mobile phone also with your laptops, so if you go through my Linux classes, there I explain you everything, how you can connect your mobile phone with your laptop also, to have some kind of further testing. Okay, so guys, my last classes we have been to this particular folder, and in this folder we have created this particular kind of file. In this file we have write some code, and in this code, if you notice here, this code say anybody who from outside come to this particular page and come with the data inside the X variable. Okay, we'll take this value in CMD variable, and then we will print this CMD as a command. Right, as a command. So maybe somebody who come to this particular file and send date or cal as a value, this value go to X, and X will run as a command. Okay, so this code, guys, we have done in my last class, but let me again share you, and every bit I have explained to you. But who and how somebody come to you, because this is the CGI program run with the help of a web server. So anybody who know my IP, they come to my web server and connect to this program. Very quickly, if I want to check just for basic testing, so I'll just type from my Windows, I'll just type the IP of that particular system, IP 162, then CGI bin/IIECPY. Let me go and check. They say site can't be reached. Maybe two reason maybe we have. Either my web server program is not running, so you can check with this particular command. My web server, guys, program is running. Okay, even though it is not working. Why? Because in some of my other classes I had changed something in this file. So you don't have to do this, what I'm doing right now. There's some concept called port number. I changed my port number in other classes, so that is the reason they have this connectivity issue. But you don't have to do, you don't have to come to this file, and you don't have to run this thing. So whatever web server you have already with you, same web server you have to use. Okay, so this part what I did, you don't have to do. I think this is the only challenge And if I run again, now they run for us. And right now they say is none because this file, the way I write the code in this file say you have to provide a value in the X variable. And guys, any program that work with the CGI or web server, okay, so this is the program, and this program we can only run with the help of web server. Okay, and this program needs something, and whatever you provide, they will do something for you. So typically guys, this kind of program are known as API program. Okay, and in a API program, if you want to give the input, so in the URL you write question mark here, and whatever variable they are expecting here, just type, and then whatever value you want to pass, you can pass the value. Okay, so this concept I explained you in my last class. And if you see here, the output of date command come up. Also date also printed there because I have printed here. So let me remove this date. So let me remove this line. So this is Linux. Here we don't have a notepad. Instead of notepad, you have to open gedit, and let me comment this line. I don't know. So this is the way we comment in the Python. Okay, so till here guys, we have done we have done. Let me quickly check one more time. Let me run a command called list. So list, the list of the file will come up, or maybe let me run a command called cal. So cal output come up. So my program is working great, but right now guys, I'm running this program from my browser, right? So I manually type this program from my browser. Let's say this is the URL we have, right? So I manually type this URL. So I don't want to manually type this URL. I don't want to manually come to the browser to type this URL. So I want my Python will automatically open the browser. Okay, and my Python will automatically run this URL in this browser. And I told you guys in my last classes, whenever you type any URL in the browser, according to the browser, they go to this server and ask them to run this program. And that's what we need, right? I want my program to be run. But only thing, the challenge here is, right, if I ask to my customer or my user and say, if you want to run the date command, or do you want to run the cal command, just come here and manually type cal to see the calendar. So for them and for the non-technical guys, first of all, it is again the manual thing. They have to manually type it. There's no meaning of voice here. And second thing is, they should know the commands, right? So obviously those who don't know Linux, they might don't know the cal command, or they might don't know the ifconfig command, or maybe some other commands. So I don't want they remember the command, or I don't want they manually come here, manually type the command here, the way I'm doing. I want this part also to be controlled by the voice. Plus this part also, I also want my window also open, and this URL automatically open in the window in the browser. This also begin controlled by guys, 1 minute. this also been controlled by the voice based, right? So for this, what you have to do, let me add one code in the Python. So guys, in the Python, if you want to open the browser, and in the browser you want to open certain URL using the Python, how we can do. Okay, so let me show you one function for this. So in the Python, let me guys, I'm manually running the Python interpreter here. So in the Python, we have a module called web browser. So web browser is a module that we have. And if you see the function available inside this module, so you know guys, dir keyword. So in this is the module, and you guys know module means it is a kind of program file. But in the upcoming class, I will talk guys in detail about the module, the exact meaning of the module. But think it is like a program file, and inside this program file, we have a lot of functions available. So dir will give you all the function available. Right, and if you see here, there's one function available here called open, or maybe open new tab. Okay, so what this function will do, so I'll let's say I use the function called open is a one function here, open. Okay, and because the functions belong to this particular module. So I write web browser dot open, and here we can pass any of the URL, right? So maybe you want to pass google.com or yahoo.com, but here in my case, my URL is this one. Okay, I'll pass here. So what happened, guys? Without manually typing this particular URL in your browser or web browser, okay, Python will open this URL for you. And right now, whatever your by default web browser in your laptop, because in my laptop I have two browser, maybe three, Chrome, Firefox, or IE, or maybe Edge. So what is my by default browser, they open for you and open or run this URL. So let me show you. So guys, this is Python code, and this is the by default browser they have. So they automatically open this window for you, and they run this particular URL for you. And because in this URL, because this is my API, good thing is this API created by us, or maybe my other team, or maybe it's available somewhere in the internet. So they run this API, and what the output of this API they give to me. Okay, now we're gonna use this concept in my main program, right? So we know how to open the browser. So let me first let me share this particular code to you. Okay, and what I'm going to do in my actual code, where is my actual code? I'll go to my actual code. Let me open the code that we started today, this code, and what exactly we want in this program. If anybody type something here, and in something we found date as a string somewhere, instead we print the date. What exactly we will do, we first import the we will import the web browser as a program, as a module. Okay, and here we'll run this program. That's all. So what exactly happened, or maybe if you don't want to print, just to remove the print, that's okay. So what happened, if anybody type date here, we'll open this URL. And the interesting thing in this URL is in this URL, because somebody typed see date, so we are passing date here. Or similarly, let me do one more time here. If anybody say something like calendar, so we pass cal here, like this. So now what happened, guys? It might be a little bit different kind of code we have created. Okay, you know how to create a Python code, you know how to take the input, you know how to take the if or else, you know how to set this in keyword, the very detail I've already explained to you, and you also know how to create this API. These things you know, right? But I integrate this part together. So from the Python code, we are calling the API. This is one of the way. There's multiple way to call the API in the Python code, but this is one of the way. But here, because my plan here is not to only take the output, my plan after we run this code, I would like to also open my browser. Maybe some of the further requirement we have in the future. Okay, so let's see and test this particular code. So if I run this particular code again, if I run this particular code again and say, can you run date for me? So like a human phrase we are talking about, even though my program is not so much optimized, but I have given you this task to you to make your program very optimized. Whatever we write, they try to understand the exact sense from this particular line, even though the way you guys has done and the way I explained to you, you have written multiple conditions here. Maybe you also write here run in ch. So multiple conditions you guys have written the way I explained you. So a lot of guys has make this program very much optimized. I've seen you guys have keep posting in different social media. Okay, something like this. That's nice you have done, but the best way to understand this particular phrase is the best way, all right, that you guys have to you can plan in the future. The best way to do is to apply some AI or machine learning, and especially in the machine learning, there's one subject called NLP, natural language processing. You can apply. Okay, by applying the NLP, we can actually understood what exactly this phrase they're talking about. We understood the grammar, we understood the action, verb, preposition, noun, object, subjective, negate, tons of things we can understand, right? But right now we don't know NLP, we don't know ML or AI right now. So without NLP also somehow, because we know the concept, we have done this. Or maybe we can add some more conditions here. If somebody say run or execute, so this part guys we have discussed already in CH. So either this one or this one. So I'll pick this thing into one big box. So any of the one word they use with date, it means they're talking about to run this URL. So this code guys, we have did all already here. Okay, so if I run this, because we have a run also, date also, so they understand what I'm talking about, and they open this particular browser and they open it, right? So one more quick check. So enter requirement, can you execute for me date command? Click. They say they don't understood what because I write data. Okay, it's not data, it's a date. Can you execute for me? Just I'm trying to maybe grammatically the statement is not right, but this is the way we guys we chat, right? So they understood and they open the date for me. So perfectly it is following with us. So before guys, now this part is done. Similarly we can do for calendar also. So this part is done. Now the main thing is for today plan is we don't want to type here. That's my requirement. I don't want to type here. My requirement is I would like to convert. Program will be same. They work in the same way. But instead I type. My program will say here. It is something like this. My program say, can you please speak out, or can you please speak what exactly you needed? So or maybe the program say, I am your assistant or voice assistant. Please tell me your requirement. I will do for you. And rather than I type here, can you please? Rather than type here, I will speak. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. You speak. When you speak, they understood the requirement and they will do the further things. And what they do, the further things, is depend upon your program, what exactly you have write in the program. So more options you give, more granular you have in condition checking here, more options you give, right? Else if, better your program will be. So that's what I'm talking about guys here. Okay, so the voice control that I'm going to show you, it won't be big challenge. It's very interesting, very unique idea. Okay, but actually the more options you write here, your app become more and more mature or more and more stronger. That will be your homework. My plan is to show you the path and how to integrate these particular components together, right? That's what I'm going to discuss today, right? So from here we'll start our main topic here. Okay, so for the voice base control, you have to do something here. Just first let me explain you some vocabulary. Then I'll show you how we can control this guy. Okay, and because in the voice based control, I have to write some multiple code I have to keep on changing to better makes you understand the code what I'm going to do here. Because working in the CLI part, it sometime I really like, but sometime little bit complex means you have to keep on changing multiple things here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to launch the Jupyter, and you guys know what is Jupyter, right? So I'll go inside this particular folder. There's no great reason why I'm going inside this folder. Only reason is because I'm keeping all the code whatever we are doing here in this folder. Okay, so from this particular folder I'm launching my notebook. Okay, so you guys know in initial class I talk about the Jupyter notebook, right? So why I open Jupyter notebook? Again, there's no main technical reason. I have to write multiple code, so writing the code, changing the code from here, a little bit simpler. Learning and practicing also, right? And let me open the new notebook where we can write some code. Okay. Now, guys, let's start with how we can do the voice controlling system. Right. So before, guys, I go for the voice control system, I would like to tell you one important, very important, not a concept, just a path to you. Okay. The path is, guys, in today's last few months or the years, now today's all the core technologies has been shifting to one or maybe using as a base called container technology. So those who don't know about container, so it is something like this. So I think my last class I think I talked about a little bit, but let me give you in a 1 minute the summary. So let's say this is the OS, right? So guys, if you ever installed any operating system, maybe Windows or Linux or Red Hat, it took maybe half an hour or 1 hour sometime to install the entire operating system. And why we need the operating system? Because obviously you guys know, without having the operating system, you won't able to run any program. So running any program, implementing any technology, doing anything, you need the operating system, or industry need the operating system. Okay, but the biggest challenge in installing the operating system is in a typical traditional way is they take a lot of time, guys. Maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour normally to install. Okay, so that is the reason, guys, the one more technology now has been a rise in the market, and nowadays almost all the big company or a small company has been shifted to this particular technology called container. Okay, and the good thing about the container technology is almost any operating system in the world, maybe Windows, maybe Red Hat, Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, Fedora, whatever the operating system you guys know, almost all the operating system you can install or you can run on the top of the container technology. The powerful thing about the container technology is, okay, if you don't use container technology, either you have to install your OS on the top of your laptop, or you have to install the OS on the top of virtualization technology. This is the virtualization technology here, Oracle VirtualBox. It consumes, let's say, 30 minutes to install, or maybe after install the system OS will power on. This could boot. Maybe it might take 1 minute to boot up. After boot, the login screen come up. Maybe it take 5 seconds to log in. So a lot of time has been consumed. But nowadays, the complete era of technologies has either migrated or migrating to the DevOps. DevOps is speed, agile. We don't want to waste the time, right? Because of this competition world. Even though from this 2020, the complete world has changed. The company can't, industry can't cop up. Can be survive to unwanted wasted time and unwanted investing in the resources, right? They have to do a cost cutting. They have to be very much active to survive in this competition world, even though after this pandemic, right? Very much alert in any form, right? So DevOps is a need for all the company, that's for sure. Okay, so DevOps is one technology here, but what I'm talking about, guys, here, if you don't want to invest so much time just for installing one OS, because in the companies there is multiple different in every day hundreds and thousands of OS they have to launch, and they have to term it due to multiple reasons, right? So for this, what can we do? Because we have the container technologies, okay, we can install entire OS. We can start and boot the entire OS. You know what is very surprising, especially those who don't know about the container technology, just in 1 second entire OS been installed, boot and launch and login. So quick, so powerful, right? And a lot of guys content technology products available in the market. One of the very powerful product called Docker. So guys, for today's class, as such, there is no link with the Docker, but upcoming classes, because our next class would be directly on next Saturday. Okay, so this 5 days of gap, guys, I want you just go and learn Docker, even though it is not the part or it's never the part of this Python agenda, whatever we discuss. But in the upcoming class, I will explain you how you can integrate Python with the Docker. Because right now we are integrating Python with the voice control. So using the voice control, we are controlling the Docker technologies. So very much powerful topic. Every technical graduate students, pursuing students, professionals should know about this kind of technologies. Okay, and for the you don't have to invest. Recently I have delivered a complete training in under IIC Rise in Docker, from very basics, all the hundreds of use cases with all the advanced concepts of Docker. So I'll ask my team, they will share you my video of the Docker. Just go through the video and learn it. So you have 5 days. So total classes we have conducted there is, I think, 7 to 8 classes. One classes will be around 4 hours, but you don't have to learn everything. Initial 2 classes would be enough, or maybe 3 classes would be enough to update your skills with the great level, right? So we'll share 2 or 3 videos. Just go through it. It will improve the skill of Docker. Then in the next class, I'll show you how to integrate Python with the Docker. Okay, that will be again very unique thing, and that's what I'm talking about from the first day. Right? Only knowing the language like Java, C++, or R or Python won't enough. Okay, because learning the language you can learn anywhere. Tons of tutorials available in the market. You can go and they will explain you loop or variables and arrays and functions. Even though in this training we'll discuss also, but the intention of this training is not to just only give you the language knowledge, right? Intention of this training is to give you a knowledge the way industry they need a language or concepts to be integrated with some other technology, right? And this is the approach I'm doing here, right? And very unique approach. As none of the Python training guys you'll find this kind of approach, right? But because you're investing your time, and I also, so we want some great outcome. Okay, there's one small announcement from my side. So let's come to main topic. It's called voice based control system, right? So I want this particular program to be controlled by the voice. Okay, how we can do this? So for this, what we have to do first, okay, because right now guys, if you talk about the voice, okay, so you can think your PC, your laptop, something like a human being. For example, it is something like this. The human being, if you want to speak, we use mouth, but in the computer we use speaker to speak. Okay, similarly in the human being, if you want to listen something, all right, for listening we use ears. Similarly in your laptops or mobile phone, we use mic to listen. Okay, something like this. So guys, in the initial classes, I told you, if you want as a user of the operating system of your laptop, you want to connect to the speaker, you need some programming language. Here we use Python, but Python is just a programming language. Python should know how to communicate with the speaker. So for this guys, we have used pytts x3 kind of a library. Maybe other library also you can find in the market, but this is the library we have used. Similarly, as a user means this is a program code, this is a program we have, and if anybody who run this program, so I will treat myself as a user of this particular program. Okay, so as a user of this program, if you want as a user, of this particular OS, and in this particular OS we have the mic associated and you want to connect to the mic so you can say something. How you say? As a user, you use the voice obviously, or you speak something, all right, and my mic will listen what you exactly speaking. So for this, obviously you use some language, right? And here we are using Python, but Python doesn't know how, guys, to connect with the mic. So for this for this we have to provide a Python library. And one of the use of library is, library I told you initially, like it is like a software, so you have to give Python a software. And one of the use of library is, because mic is one kind device, so library internally give you a driver, because mic is one device, and with the help of this driver, Python has a capability to connect to the device. Python has a capability to talk to the device what exactly we need. Okay, that's what we do. So finally, guys, what I'm talking about right now, I'm in Windows, and in the Windows we are running the Python code, and we have to provide a Python library, and that library has a capability to connect to this mic and to talk to the mice what our requirement is. So finally, my user, means we, will connect to the Python. This is the way we connect. We connect to the Python and say, Python, can you please go to the mic and take my voice to that guy, means to Mike, and so Mike understand what I'm talking about, and after they understand, they will do something for us. So for this we have to install one driver. Typically here in the Python is called library, and the name of the library that we have to install is PyAudio. PyAudio. So PyAudio, guys, is one library of the Python that has a capability to connect with your mic. So let me open my Windows terminal. Okay. And here, if you want to install any of the Python library, obviously you guys know we use pip install. This command we use to install the library, and after this we write a command called PyAudio. So it will install this particular library for us. Okay. So right now, guys, in my case, they say this library is already installed, because in my laptop is already installed, even though I can confirm you it is already installed, this particular library. So in my case it is already installed, but in your case you won't find this library by default, you have to install it. So PyAudio I already have this particular version. Okay, but one challenge, guys, you will face. Okay, one challenge you will face if you're trying to install this particular library with the pip command, it will fail. Why it fail? There is some kind of compile region. They will fail. Right now, guys, it's not failing because in my case it is already installed. But in your case, if you're trying to install this library with the pip command, it will fail. Okay, so what I mean by this, let me explain you here. So guys, if you want to install Python library, there's multiple way available in the market to install Python library. One of the way, this is the typical way, or you can say the traditional way, is a pip command. So pip is the I stand for installer, is a Python installer. So they will install the Python library. Okay, but there's other way also to install the Python library. It again depend how you install the Python. So in my laptop, guys, initially, if you remember, I installed Python as an interpreter using a program called, or using a distribution called Anaconda. So if you have installed Python interpreter with the help of Anaconda distribution, and this is a way I also suggest you initially. I told you there's a reason, don't use any other way. So if anybody have installed Python with the Anaconda distribution, okay, so Anaconda has their own way to install the Python library. So again, guys, I'm repeating here. Python need library, either pip install, you install manually, you create. They don't have any issue, right? Python want some library for doing something. Okay, so there's multiple way to install the Python library. One is pip. Here pip doesn't support. In your case, you will try, it will fail. It will fail. It doesn't support. Okay, so what a method we have to use? for installing Pi Audio as a library. Okay, so Anaconda has given you one more program that also help you to install a library. And sometimes that program is more stronger. They have more options. Okay, and program name is called Conda. So Conda you can also like a pip, but this program is come with Anaconda, and this program has more updated or stable libraries or stable softwares. Okay, so finally we are going to install this particular library with Conda. So in my case it is already installed, but in your case don't use this. If you want to try it, they have some version conflict or maybe have some kind of compiling error come up, but when you install with this, it will install for you. So in my case it is already installed. Okay, yeah, initially they might take some time to resolving some environment. So what is environment of this related to Conda? Maybe we'll see in the future about this. But after some minute or second, I say they say, do you want to install yes or no? You say why, and they will install for you. Okay, so use this method. So if to install Pi Audio. Okay, so in my case it's already there, so this part is done. Okay, so finally if you want your Python, because we are the one who are going to communicate our requirement to Python. Python will use this library. This library has internal driver. They will contact to your mic as a device and tell the mic that this is the sound of this user. This is the voice of this user. And now the biggest things guys come up here is if you right now you're listening to me. Okay, you're listening to me. So for example, I say, guys, how are you doing today? So when I say something, this is my voice reach to you, and you know where they reach to your ears as a human being. You are, and all the human being has some kind of internal you can think as a one kind of decode system, because when I say my voice is a some kind of frequencies coming from your ear. Okay, and when they hit to the ear, it goes to brain and mind convert the frequency into the way we understand. And normally way we understand right now is the English word or English vocabulary. Okay, so typically I can say the I'm talking right now. I'm talking right now. It is my speech, and your ear is able to recognize my speech. Why? Again, why is long discussion again, but this is a way we have been trained from our childhood. So hundreds and times we have listened the word hello. So this frequency is set in the mind, and say if somebody say hello, so it means HELLO, hello. So hundreds of times every word you have listened, and it is recorded in your mind, somewhere in the memory of your mind. It is very much related to artificial intelligence or machine learning. So anybody ever learned the machine learning or the data science or AI, that again I highly recommend this subject, because most of the job in today's market or the future would be obviously from data science and the machine learning or maybe deep learning. So if you go, you will understand this concept in very detail, especially when you go for NN, that's called neural network or artificial neural network, right? So it's not subject of this particular program. Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you here is right now if I talk to one human being to other human being, so we understand our voice, and we understand if I say hello, how are you, so we understand we are saying hello, how are you. Okay, but right now interesting thing is we are not going to communicate as a user or as a human being. We are not going to communicate with the other human being. Okay, right now if you talk about my laptop, because I'm doing this live streaming through my laptop, if I ask my laptop, do you understand what I'm talking about right now? Do you know exactly which word or vocabulary I'm using here. So let us say I don't require to know this, right? You whatever you're saying is not important for me. The important is whatever you're saying, this stream of your voice I have to capture, and as it is I have to send it. I don't have to decode it. I don't have to understand it. So right now if I say hello guys, how are you? So my laptop right now, even though you're listening through using my laptop, but my laptop doesn't know I'm talking guys or hello, something like this. So they record my voice, record my voice, every word they record, even though without understand, they just record it and they pass it through the network, and it is broadcast everywhere who is listening to me. it is something like this, right? So till this, so in this live discussion or live training is not so much very something complex happen, but the challenge come up here is right now my plan is not to tell Python just take sorry, listen my voice or record my voice, and after you record my voice, just please go and send to my different user or different person. They will listen from the ear, they understand, right? So this is not what we want, right? My requirement is I am the user, I am telling my Python and say Python, I am using my voice. There's the pure human voice, the way I'm speaking right now. You know what you have to do? You have not only to record it, you don't not only have to gather this frequency from the air, from the environment. What you have to do, what you have to supposed to do, right? You have to convert this voice in a normal English phrase. It's something like this. You have to convert into some one minute, into some English phrase. The way I write, for example, can you please help me? So I'm not going to type you, I just speak. You have to convert in this phrase of the human being. And after you able to convert, this is the biggest challenge. After you convert the way I'm speaking into English phrase or French or Hindi or Urdu or whatever language you guys speak, okay, after you convert in this particular phrase, okay, then you can use your further intelligence. And guys, after they convert in this particular statement, now we know how to take the input and how to pass to a condition the way we have done here. the way we have done here. Okay, but only thing is my speak should be converted into the sorry, into the actual English phrase. And this is the biggest challenge. And this particular topic, if you talk about if you want to convert your speech into a statement that computer can understand, this particular topic typically known as speech recognition. Speech recognition. Okay, and again guys, it is a very very big topic. Normally we will learn this particular topic in deep learning or neural network or NLP, these where we learn this topic and we create our own speech recognizers. Okay, it's a long process. Again, this is not the AI class. It's a long process, but right now in the market there's a lot of company has created their own speech recognizers. And after they create, obviously, because whatever we create in some kind of server, and the top of server we create using some kind of program. And if they want the program used by somebody on the internet as a public, or maybe some other guys, so they create this program using the API. So what is API, you guys know already, so I'm not discussing the API here. So anybody who connect to this API, they can connect to this program. And what is the program is doing? Speech recognition. So it is something like this. We can say we as a public or we as a user will pass our voice. Again, we are not passing the data. We are not passing. Guys, there is big difference right now. I am saying hello. I am saying hello, but my computer doesn't know I'm saying hello. Even though my computer know how to record hello. All right. but converting this voice into the English word called HELLO is a big challenge. Even though we have successfully achieved this, right, with the help of machine learning or deep learning or AI, there's a different point. It's not, but it's a small thing. It's a big challenge, right? Lots of data we have to collect and create a powerful model for this, right? But typically, you know what we have to do? My user have some voice in some frequency. There's a frequency they have. This frequency and the voice or audio, I can say, they have to send to this API created by some big company in the world with the help of machine learning or the artificial intelligence. A right word would be obviously machine learning. All right, and this program will convert this voice into the in some language word or phrases. Let's say English language. And after they convert, this program will convert, they will pass to you. So this kind of API available. So multiple APIs available in market. API from Bing, API from IBM, API from Microsoft, API from Amazon, API from Google. So today I'm going to use the API of the Google. So it's one of the powerful API because in the AI world, Google has done great research already, right? So we are going to use a Google API today. So what I'm going to do from my mic, okay, as a user, okay, from my mic, I'll send my audio, pure signals, the frequencies, all the things, or I say audio, to the Google, and say, Google, this is my speech or my audio. Please try to recognize into a language called English. And after you understand the phrase, please give me back what? The string. Just give me back the text. And after the text come up, now we can do all the things. What can we do with the text? That we have done already. But who will connect to the Google? We. And obviously, we as a human being, we can't go. We have to use some program. So here we are going to use a Python as a program. So we write a Python code that will go to Google API to convert my audio into the string. But for this, you have to use one more Python library that has a capability to contact to the Google API or maybe IBM API or Amazon API. And by chance, the name of this library is called speech recognition. Okay. So let me install one more library for this. So I am going to install one more library. This library you can install with pip. Pip has this support. So library is called speech recognition. There's a library you have to install. So in my case, it is already there, but in your case, I don't think so. You have this library, so you just go and install this particular library. Okay, just go and install it. So now, guys, all the requirement of what exactly we need, it is there. So Python. So right now, guys, for the voice control, final summary is for the voice control system, because we are doing with the Python, we need two library. One, PyAudio. So Python has a capability to connect to the mic. Obviously, if Python is not able to connect to mic, how mic will listen? So it is like a driver. And second is, okay, it's not a little mic, but I'll tell my mic or a microphone that whatever voice you have collected or whatever audio you have collected, okay, whatever audio you have collected, you can think, mic, you are a source for me. So you are a source for me. Okay, so whatever, so the audio you have collected, okay, you can use a speech recognition or library and their respective function. Take this audio, whatever you collected, because you are a source for me, because you are a source for me, send this audio to Google and ask Google, use your mind, use your AI or machine learning to convert this audio into text and give back text to me, so I can use this text here. Instead we type the text here, can you run date. Instead we write this text will be inserted from the Google API. Okay, something like this we are going to do today. Okay, so how we do? Two library we have to install. we have install this library. Only the final thing is to connect to the Google API and do it. But before guys I connect, I have one more very quick announcement for you. One announcement of Docker I have already did. One announcement is actually I have already done in my last class last Sunday. Okay, this is more about the Earth program that we have launched, but it is more one more announcement related to Earth actually here. Okay, so it is something like this. According to me, guys, and according to my current survey, because of this particular disaster or pandemic of 2020, everyone in the world know the way industry work has been changed, the demand has been changed, the approach has been changed, their skill set requirement from the current employees, because the project requirement change, so skill set requirement change, and the skill set what do they require from the engineers or the freshers also been changed, right? Because now very less demand we have, less requirement also the company has in the terms of hiring new freshers. Right? So the challenge we have is they, as a company or a industry, they will invest. I say they don't want to invest. They want readily available high-end technical guys. They can solve their current use cases, industry requirements. Okay, they would like to prefer those, especially if they talk about fresher over here. Okay, so now the challenge is because the requirement change and the future is very much I say complex. It's again very much it's not a small issue actually. It's very much bad. Or maybe I think you understand what I'm talking about. Is a very challenging time actually. So I recommend guys as because almost all the company I'm serving, and right now I'm one of the main consultant for these company in this, especially in this COVID situation, to guide them the right technology to use currently or for the future need. so that they can cope up with the current requirement, right? So most of the company, multiple environment I am working with them, right? So I highly recommend guys the 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 technology they highly need always. Okay, and and it's not only they need, they also want, and they should be integrated to each other. For example, one is AI, or I say machine learning or deep learning. They should be integrated with the DevOps. They should be integrated with the big data world. Okay, they're running on the top of cloud computing. Okay, plus some more thing. Okay, so again, in my last class, little high low idea I have given to you already. But here my plan is to tell you one of the main savior for us may be machine learning. Okay, is already there in the market, but but it is one of the great savior for anybody life. Machine learning, artificial intelligence, or deep learning, or obviously normally we use the term called data science. Okay, but the biggest challenge is the the requirement in the company for the machine learning is a very big subject altogether. sorry, big subject altogether, and the actual need of the industry is not normally solved by just basic knowledge, right? Because almost everybody know machine learning, almost everybody know data science, but they are not up to the mark what industry need. They are even the 1% of the concept what actually industry need. Okay, this is the big very big challenge of America. So they need great data scientists, data engineers, or other machine learning guys, right? But the current existing education system, not in my or your country, across the world, it is same, and very limited institutes or universities are maybe up to the date with the machine learning programs, but they charge like anything. And believe me guys, I just scrolling through through the internet just to check. So I've checked, even though I'm not again trying to defame or announce some institute names or university name, but if you just search machine learning training, something like this, so multiple different companies name you will see, randomly pick. They have a 8-month 12-month courses on machine learning and AI here. Okay, content wise, less than 10% what industry need. Okay, 10% industry need, and it is charging like anything, right? So I've seen some institute or universities, just for some limited time, they're charging 2.4 lakh rupees in Indian currency, means 240000, right? Multiple zero, right? INR is too much. Yeah, then the content wise is 10% less what industry need. Okay, so this is the very much, again, one more bad thing I don't appreciate, because education shouldn't be business, right? Obviously you are running your business, your company, so but you have to survive, but first priority should be the students, right? And that's my thinking. Okay. So what I'm talking about, guys, so what I've done actually, what I've done as per the industry need currently, or what the future need, I have designed a program on the data science or the artificial intelligence or machine learning or deep learning, whatever term you understood, in such a way that almost every use case of the data science can be solved in any of the industries, almost all the industries. Okay, the current or future they can solve, because working with them, I know what exactly they need in the future also is being solved. Okay, so I've created great content, and as per my survey, as per my team survey also, and I also show this content to some multiple corporate guys also. They say they have never seen this level of content, right? So I think everybody know this site, right? Earth.com. In the last class I announced, right? Because Earth is one program we launch, and here we have machine learning tab here, and if you see if you see, it is a like you keep on scrolling this page, the content never and even though we have created this program in such a way that it is not only the learning perspective, is an integration perspective, research based. Even though till date, according to my my team research, none of the machine learning program, very important part, no doubt, everybody say, I'm also saying very important program, machine learning, but nobody talk about research based or integration oriented. I told you already multiple time, right? Machine learning alone would help you. We have to integrate with DevOps or big data or cloud computing or Docker, tons of other things also we have to integrate. But this program we have created in such a way. Even though according to my team research, they say it should be 3 lakh rupees in the cost of this program, the way we have created. but for the Earth learner, it is nil, right? 500 plus hours program is big program. So if you see the content, the core concept, right, everything, nobody talk about feature selection in very much in detail. But if you go to any of the any of the great research oriented company like Google, they want this thing to be discussed. Again, it is a unlimited kind of list. You can think huge content. Maybe it's huge, but but it require we need this much knowledge, right? And even though this content is we just write ANN, just a name, but ANN again the big one, CNN again the big one, RNN, PCA, LDA, tons of things is there's okay. LSTM, COM, reinforcement learning, TensorFlow, encoders, tons of things is there, right? It's a unlimited list. So if you really want to think as a if you really want to save the career work for the real company with no worries about the future in the career, one should know this much knowledge, right? Maybe I know it is too much, but obviously we should know this, right? This makes me feel proud that I am pure technical guys. Nobody can beat my knowledge, right? So this level of program is we created a huge, right? So the only thing is because we are not doing this program will launch inside under my company called Linux World, under the Earth program. So so we don't want to do a business, so we haven't opened this program for public world. Otherwise we can't come up with less than this much price. So we was trying to integrate this program with the Earth program. I believe everyone know about Earth. In last class I'll discuss about the process about the Earth. So for them it is included in the program, right? So like it's not free, but they include in this program. Okay, so this one announcement I will like to tell you guys. So but again finally the way we have created the Earth platform, it is not a platform, it is a process, it is a program of 10 month. I told you in my last class actual cost of this program according to the current market I'm talking about is maybe 8 to 10 lakh rupees. But to support the students, it is only for pursuing student, to support the student to make their safe career right? It's not about safe, the way they're going to learn nobody can beat. And my goal is very straightforward. Rather than they will try to get the job, company will be behind them. That is one of my goal. There's tons of goal I have for Earth learners. Okay, so I highly recommend especially for all, because it is only for technical pursuing students, so all pursuing students, right? So same like machine learning, same with DSA, DevOps. The plan is to make you guys the ideal, right? Nobody can beat your knowledge, right? That would be the plan for this program, right? So yeah, after 10 months, right? I don't have any word, but you guys in the very different height, nobody can think of to compete with you guys, right? And every company want you to belong to that one, right? That particular company team. So this is when I have high level announcement. I just want to tell you one more time. Okay, so so let's show you final how we can integrate this voice control. So first of all, I'm just showing you this particular demo in my Jupyter notebook, because to keep on changing some code here. So what exactly we have to do? First we have to import one module called speech recognition. Okay, so let me import. And guys, sometime very small thing, sometime your module name is very long, and we have to keep on using this module name. For example, if you talk about sub process, you guys know the process, and every time you have to use sub process, then further your your function name. So instead we always use sub process. Let's say my next program maybe notepad, for example. So you know guys, this command we already discussed in my last class. So it will open the notepad for us. It is already there, so they open for us. Okay, So rather than you always write the module name again and again, this big name, what can you do? You can give a nickname to this module. So maybe I can give as P, for example. You can give any name. So sub process is my real module name. With the as keyword, I have given one nickname. You can give any name. Typically, it is known as alias. So now in the future, now you don't have to use this complete big name. Just use as the shorter name, whatever you have given, SP. So it will work like the same. There's no, there's nothing difference in the processing. Okay. So I recommend, guys, whenever you give some module name, if it's big, just try to give some nickname, typically known as alias. Okay. So this one very small concept. In Python, other language also we have this kind of concept, right? Okay, so same thing I'm doing here. Let me delete everything. So I'm going to use speech recognition and going to give a nickname called SP or SR. So let me give SR. And in the market, most of the time we use SR only, but you can give any name. Okay, and very small thing, guys. Right now, this is the name of the module. Module is like a program file. And all the module or the program file come from a library. And by chance, guys, library name was different, right? So don't be confused. The library name is speech recognition. Okay. So is speech. There's no hyphen in between. So this is the library name. Okay. And module name is same, but there's the underscore in between. But it's two different things, right? So this is the name. So don't be confused. There's two different things. Okay. So in this particular what you say in this particular module SR, we have multiple functions available. So if you write dot, okay, and if you press tab once, you can see lots of functions available here. So one of the function is a microphone that we are going to use in a minute. Okay, and one is a recognizer. Okay, a recognizer. So this is the program through which we will connect to our Google APIs. So Google is one of the recognizer we have. So let me use this particular function. Now let me store this function in a variable called R. Okay. So R is a variable. There's no how to connect with some of the recognizers. Okay. For example, if I talk about R, again in R, again they have multiple function internally. I press dot and press tab key. You can see there's multiple options come up. But if you go down, you can see multiple recognizers available. So we have Bing, we have Google, we have IBM, multiple others maybe we have. So typically if you go select the Google, so this is the one kind of function you can think, but this function know where the Google server located, and this function know where the Google API located or located. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here. So we have to go to the Google. So we'll take our audio to the Google, and who will take my audio to Google, and they reply, give me back the output in the text, this function. Okay, but for this and before this, obviously we have to record our audio, right? And for recording the audio, we have to use some function. Okay, some function. So in the SR, means in speech recognition, we have a function available called, if you press tab, function called microphone, obviously, because my computer has ear is mic, right? So if you want to connect your current mic, you have to use a microphone function. So this function has a this is the main function here. Let me explain you how it works behind the scene. Okay, so when you run this function, because we are running this function with the Python. So this using this function, Python will go and connect to your mic as a device. And for connecting to mic device, Python internally use PyAudio library. Okay, so in this case, if you don't have PyAudio library, when you run this, it will fail, and they give the error you don't have PyAudio. But in our case, we already have PyAudio library installed. So Python internally use PyAudio to connect to the mic. And ask mic, can you please open and switch on? I would like to record something. Okay, so mic will record. But understand one thing, guys, none of the mic, again I'm repeating, none of a mic, even the mobile phone also, know what you're talking about. For example, if I say hello, how are you, so they don't know how I'm saying hello, how are you, even though they don't know I'm saying Hindi, English or Greek. Okay, only thing they know is I'm saying something, that's all. So they have a capability to record, they have a capability to store something in hard disk or maybe send to the internet, but they don't have a capability to understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so none of the mic has a capability, okay, by default. Maybe you attach some extra program or machine learning, this is different thing, but none of the mic has a capability. But we don't know, there is no worry, we'll use this program to understand my voice. So my Python, this is Python code. Internally it's not visible here, but internally they use PyAudio. Even though if you want to check, remove the PyAudio library, you'll see this will fail with this error. Okay, so they use PyAudio as a library and they have a capability to connect to mic. And we ask mic, can you please open yourself and start recording? Or I can say, mic, can you please start listening listen to me what I'm talking about. And after listening, store somewhere. And because this is a pro language, guys, we always store somewhere in some variable. So store something in this variable, so we can use somewhere. Okay. And after we stop saying from in the mic, just disconnect. I don't now need this mic again. Okay, it's something like this. When we start talking, start the mic, and we stop. When I stop talking, just disconnect the mic or disconnect my program from the mic, something like this. So guys, whenever in the Python, if you have a requirement to connect something and disconnect something, when your job is done, it may be your databases, maybe file, maybe network. There's lots of example in the future come up. So in the Python, if you want to connect something, then after a job done, then you want to disconnect. If this kind of requirement come up, then we have one keyword in the Python is called with. Okay, with. So I'm telling my with as a program that please go and connect to this mic. Okay, and I ask them whatever I'm going to tell to you, store in one variable. Let's say x. Store in this x. Okay, so you can think x as a source. So normally most of the time we always use a variable called source. It is just a variable name. Okay, and then what to do? All right. In this R, we have a function called listen. Okay, we have a function called listen. Okay, and ask, just keep on listening from this mic. Okay, so finally, guys, the meaning of this particular code is, let me explain you what exact meaning of this particular code. Okay, this code, what this will do, this particular line will open your mic, and whatever you are saying to your mic will listen. Okay, why? Because we use listen here. So you can think, guys, listen is a way to switch on your mic. Okay, and whatever frequency going, voice going to your mic is audio, they store in the source, and we are asking to listen it, and after listen, store somewhere. So let me store in one variable, so in the future we can use it. So let me store here x in one variable, or maybe because it is audio, fine audio, let me store in the audio. Okay, we are storing here. Okay, again, R is just a variable name, right? We haven't tell which recognizer to use. So listen is the one function, by chance belong to R, so we use R to listen. But because why we use with, so what the good thing about with is, as we stop talking, okay, listen say there's no voice is coming, so this means my user don't want to say more. So do one thing, switch off this connection, switch off this program, or switch off this mic. Switch off means disconnect this mic from the Python code. Okay, so with as a function that will help you to open the things and close the things. So guys, anybody who don't able to understand proper the right meaning of it, don't worry guys. Okay, this with example come multiple time, especially when I go for file handling topic. That was one of the great topic where you can easily understand what the meaning of it. So I show you guys in the file handling one topic come up in the future. Without the file handling, I will write a code, and same code I will again change with the with keyword, and you will see with the with keyword writing the code will be more simple. So don't worry guys, if you don't understand the with keyword, is not again important as such. Okay, but the important keyword is this one. We are going to connect to the mic. Okay, and second, we are asking mic to listen to us. Till time will say, and my frequency, my my voice, okay, I'm passing here, and this we will store in a variable called audio. Okay, so what you will see guys now, it is something like this. When I run this program, it is start my mic. Right now my mic is already started because I'm talking right now to you guys with the mic only. So my laptop already connected to mic, but my Python doesn't know how to connect that particular mic that I'm using right now here. But as soon as I hit my program, I don't know, maybe there might be possibility, because right now my mic is actually connected to my some program through which I am broadcasting my voice to you in this YouTube. I'm not pretty sure, but this program I tested multiple times, is working great. There's no challenge in this code what I write here, but there might be possibility, okay, because I'm doing this thing in the YouTube some broadcaster program, so they might not allow to use the same mic. Might be possibility, I don't know. So this either this program might fail right now, or might not able to record my voice. I don't know. Let me check. But even though it don't work, you can try offline in your laptop. Offline means after this session, you will see it will properly work for you. Okay, but let me check. Okay, and before this, let me do one small thing. Just let me print start saying, just because I've come to know when to start saying, because it takes some time, some millisecond to connect to mic. After the connect, this will print, and when this print, I'll come to know, okay, I have to start talking. Okay, just for this, I'm just printing here. Okay, maybe after my my speak complete, I will say just for trying speech done. Just we are printing here, not so much special here. A special thing is what I'm talking about, it will be stored here in this variable. That is the important part. Right, so let me speak. Hello guys, how are you? Okay, so it look like because when this line print, I start speaking, and when I start speaking, my listen is recording my voice from this microphone. So microphone store my waves of my voice, or this is record because of listen, and store in the audio variable. And if you see the data type of the audio, data of the audio is some speech data, audio data. And if you are very much curious to see the data inside the audio, right now guys, I am speaking. My speak is speak, right, audio. My computer didn't understand. The thing that computer doesn't understand, normally they store into some binary format. So if I print this, right, they say this is the audio data, and even though in audio they have a function, I think it's called frame data. Okay, so if you print the frame data, it will print the data. So according to my computer, this is the data. It's a pure binary kind of data. Okay, it is actually wave, you can think. So you can think, I say hello guys, how are you? They store here in this format. My computer doesn't know, but yeah, I can send this data to my audio player or VLC player, and I can play there. They will play for me. That's a different thing. But according to my computer, according to them, I speak this. Okay, but my plan is not to play, because again, if you play also in the audio player, they will play the same the way I speak. It will come with my voice. Hello guys, how are you? Okay, that's not my plan. My plan is to convert my speech into a word vocabulary in the English word. So now here, what I have to do, the data that I stored in this particular variable. So here I store in this particular variable. I have to send this data to the Google API or IBM API or the Amazon API, and they have some internal AI ML system. You can also create, but for this you got some advanced machine learning concept. Even though in the Earth also, this is one of the demo, pure practical we are going to do there to create our own AI system like this. One of the example, but yeah, you should have their own AI system. But right now I'm going to use the Google AI system. We send this voice, and they will revert me what actually they understand from my voice. Okay, so how to send? So I'll tell my this particular function, this function recognizer we store in the R. So I'll tell my R that you have multiple recognizers. I would like to use Google, and in the Google we are passing this particular voice. And now guys, because we are sending the voice, it again depend upon your pronunciation also, obviously, right? So how you speak also, what they understood from the data. So now ECS computer is so powerful, right? Even the properly the data I speak, they understand, right? I send to my waves, my audio to the Google API, and they revert me and say you said this particular English words. Hello guys, how are you? It means working good, right? No challenge. Let's do one more trial. This might be more useful for us. So let me do one more time. So let me run this. Hello guys, how are you doing today? So maybe I was not properly speak, but let me check one more time. Yeah, did they properly figure out what exactly I'm talking about? And so now it's working good. Let me try one more thing. It might be helpful in our voice-based control system. So let me run my one code here. Let's say, can you please run date command for me? Okay, so it's done. So let me run. Yeah, nice. Can you please? I meant to say run. Maybe my proper pronunciation was not proper. This I understood wrong, but what exactly I'm looking for, they run for me. And guys, this concept we are going to use in our code. So my code, what exactly I'm going to do here? Okay, before this, let me get my actual code from here. So my actual code is this line. So in my program, let me do one more very quickly. Can you please execute date command for me? Okay, so this part I will store in like a data as a variable. Now this will go to Google, they revert me back, and okay, this will come up. And guys, this is exactly the same that we use here. So instead of the input, let me comment this line. Exact code will be same. Instead of the input, we are going to use this function. That's all. Now Google will revert me my data, and they will check here what exactly we want. Okay, and even though enter your requirement, we will print. Okay, and after enter requirement we will do one more thing, right? They will open the mic for me. Okay, and before the mic, obviously we have to get this variable R, and obviously we have to import this library. So let me import. Anytime, anywhere you can import. Let me import here. Okay, so first they say welcome to my tool, just very little bit new lines you give here. Then they say enter your requirements, dot 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 dot. We are listening, just to get a feel that we are listener, not. You have to input here, enter a choice. Then they open, and this please start saying. Okay, and speech done. Or we can say we got it. Please wait. Depending, guys, what you want to print, that will be your words. Let's say how it works. Everything same. You see, just we understood the requirements, we learn the requirements, come back and add in the main code, right? And it is working great. Let's see how it's working. So if I run my this particular code again here, I'm very excited to show you this particular code. Very much powerful program. Very much powerful program. So Python menu. So right now, guys, my none of my system has open date API, right? So when I run this particular program, hi, can you please execute date command for me? Yeah, see, oh, fantastic. Is now guy hands-free program, right? Hands-free program. I don't have to touch my system now. I don't have to touch my system. It's pure hands-free. Okay, I just speak and and they do for me. Even though I have also write one more program here. I have to start saying. Okay, so can you please show me the calendar? See here, fantastic, right? So it's now working, and one go is working. This is always very nice. And why is in one go thing is working? Because we know each and every bit of concepts, right? So we know where to place the concept and how to use it. So guys, working very much greatly, and this is the complete code we have learned today. I'll share this code now. This is your task. Okay, even though, guys, if you try to search in the Google, do you have any way to read listen from the mic or recognize? Maybe hundreds of example you get. So it's not like new thing I have given to you. Interesting thing is, it's not about how to listen from the microphone or how to recognize the word. The important thing is where you are going to apply these concepts, right? How you are going to integrate this concept with some of the real concepts. That is the most important things, and this is the need of the industry, and this is the one of the great lack in mostly in the education system, right? They will tell you only how to write the Python code, or they only tell you how to write an API, but nobody tell you how to integrate and solve some kind of great use cases, right? So this is one of the big challenge. So I'll share, guys, this code to you in this way, so you can type by yourself. This particular code you can type by yourself. Okay, now your task is, right, this task is exactly the same task that we have I have given to you. Okay, now you have to make this program more crispy, means more options you have. This is the same task I have given to you already, right? But same task is apply more condition here to run the date or Notepad or Chrome, set up the Docker, configure the Docker, set up the databases, web server, whatever you know, whatever you don't know, obviously that you don't know, it will you will add in the future. Just keep on adding, just keep on adding. Okay, and again I'm repeating, knowing one single language won't help you. Knowing only one single technology won't help you. But right way to learn is you should know the right meaning of the technology, and with solving the technology, which of the other technology to be integrated with right language integration, with the right logic of algorithms and the data structures. So if you combine those things, those things, it make you a real engineer that always every company need in the real team or in the actual their research team, right? And that is a slogan or the goal of Earth program also. That's the goal of the Earth program also, and this is the only program in the world, even though you can also research, who create by this kind of view and the vision, right? So I think most of the guys I've seen is already there in the Earth program, but even though I keep on again asking you, but keep discussing you because to to motivate you again, what exactly you're going to do there, right? So that's all, guys, for today. We have discussed the voice control system. So all the knowledge, whatever you have till date, even though maybe not covered in this program, any other technological knowledge you have, just try to apply in this voice control. So that's all, guys, for today. And any query if you have, just give me 1 minute. Let me open my Q&A. Any query if you have, you can ask me. Just give me 1 minute, please. So guys, your Q&A has been started. If you're not visible, just go back, come back in the screen. So okay, somebody say my screen was oh my god, is it really? Guys, somebody say my screen was paused, right? Maybe just guys give me 1 minute. Let me show you this demo again. Somebody say my screen was paused. So 1 minute, guys. Let me again. I think now my screen is visible because somebody say my screen was paused. I think now my screen is visible. Okay, let me show you this demo again. If you guys missed the demo, let me show you. This was the screen output come up. So when I run this particular program, right now they will open this particular menu for me. So let me run my program again, and when I say, can you please show me the calendar? See, guys, they open the calendar for you. So this was I show you the demo, and I already shared you the code with you. Okay, and finally I was talking about the Earth. I think this website you know already. So that's I highly recommend because this is the only program we are going to run, as because of my schedule. And I take this as a responsibility because of this COVID situation. Otherwise, I never come with this program, maybe, right? So it's the only program we are going to run. Okay. So let me, guys, again come back to the Q&A. Prasantu, I suggest what a technology we have to learn for digital transformation. Big data, DevOps, cloud, machine learning, deep learning, some programming language. These are some main core technology everybody should know. If you talk about, especially talk about the real or the future requirement. Okay. I use there's some kind of compiling reason, because the pip has had different repository, and they have shared the code of the speech, and when you download with the pip they will have to compile locally. So if your local system doesn't have the proper compiler, I think they require GC compiler, GCC compiler, so they fail. So this is the only reason, otherwise it will also work. No, Pradeep, Earth program, guys, is only for pursuing a student, and anybody who pass out in 2020, it is, they can also apply, but till 2020 pass out you can go for Earth. Otherwise, we this is the policy actually we have set. Gotham, for this for this again you have to build some AI tool, right? So when in the program, if you use PyTTX X3 and you want it will speak my voice, so again you have to create some AI program for this, right? So it's possible, but for this you have to create some AI program. Yes, Puneet, for this particular example, you need AI internet connection, because right now every time you speak, for recognition they are going to uh, uh, they're going to Google, right? Otherwise, we have some more way. There's a program called Spinix something, that will work on offline, but it's not so much powerful. But if any offline you want to use, you can go for Spinix as a program. Um, so guys, yes, actually, Earth we are launching this particular Saturday on 12th. 12th we are launching. Earth is not only for guys data science. It is a program to complete career transformation, right? So it cover all the technology of DSA, 5-6 languages we have, web technologies, cloud computing, big data, DevOps, multiple other things also we have, right? You can just go into the visit website. Many of the technology we have listed there. Here we are not going to provide the video. It is a online classes, live classes with me, the way I do with other classes also, right? It's not a recorded classes. Yuvraj, you can connect with my team. They will help you. Does they allowing BSc student of PCM? So according to my knowledge, BSc if you're on IT or CS, they are allowing, but I am not. I don't know. Are they allow PCM also in that program, right? So guys, Earth program we have launched for grid region. So obviously we are not charging 8 or 10 lakh rupees, but obvious. So fee is very much negligible. It is for the outsider. It is 2,400 rupees, Indian rupees per month. But for the rise, I think we have different price. I think 2,200. I'm not sure, but just go and check in the website is written. So I think for the rise, you guys student is 2,200 rupees per month. I did something like this. We are charging, right? Yes, our program, guys, is only for technical pursuing students. Yes, guys, we'll share the video of Docker classes soon. Maybe today or maybe tomorrow. We'll update you in the group about in the future. And today, maybe tomorrow, we'll share. Thank you, guys, very much. Yes, Surya, we can install all the library in one click. There's one concept of requirement file in the pip. So maybe future I'll explain you. So just run one single click. all the required library will be installed. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this. Yes, Amit, there might be one break in between, right? What you're asking is, yeah, obviously we'll do one break in between the Earth program. Break means per day basis. So this class is 3 hours maybe, so we'll give some small break, obviously. So actually, Ayush, the approach in the Earth is very different. It's not like a way we do in the universities, right? It's one of the worst approach. First we complete this topic, then second this topic, and then third this topic. Is the one of the worst approach in the world, right? The approach in my Earth will be very different. So in the first you'll come to know the the approach that I'm going to use to explaining you the technology. So it is not like this. First we complete the machine learning, or first we complete DSA. So all the technology will run in parallel, and because everybody is been connected to somehow with other, right? So what I'm talking about is harder right now for me to explain, but when we start the Earth, you come to know the approach I'm talking about. No, Yogendra says no plan for working professionals. Again, due to some reason, we can't open for but some of the program we have opened for the professional. 1 or 2 program, I think AWS we have open already, or Kubernetes we also open for the professional. But Earth it is actually meant for pursuing students, because we have entire different goal for the pursuing students. Anjali, Python class will happen only Saturday Sunday. Earth will be I think for 5 or 6 days, right? And on Saturday Sunday maybe we'll change some time, maybe Python or maybe Earth, right? But from Monday to Friday there is no conflict with the Python time. Saurabh, you can talk to my team. Does MTech pass out 2020 is eligible? MTech is eligible who is pursuing. Pass out 2020, I'm not sure. If you can talk to my team, they will help you. The use of with very high level, I explain you. Don't worry if you don't able to understand. Don't worry. If you're not able to understood, when one more topic come up, especially file handling, that was the one great topic to understood to understood the with concept. Yes, guys, in this training we are going to learn NumPy matplot. Means I'm talking about this Rise Python. Okay, so in this training definitely we will learn NumPy matplot, but I'm just setting some base ground of the Python concepts. Upcoming class we will discuss about. Hiren, Kubernetes time is not yet been out, because the Kubernetes is not yet been out. AWS has been launched. We have the time for AWS, but when we open the Kubernetes, we'll update you the timing. So Varad, actually I have open ML ops program for professionals. I already done. Where again was the very different level of program. That's called ML ops. But as such, we don't have plan now to again launch ML ops or maybe machine learning, right? So as such, no. So guys, that's all for today. Today topic was according to me is very much interesting or important, because we attach some voice control. Make this program more crispy, add more functionality. You will feel very much interesting by actually adding these concepts, right? Okay, guys, for today, and see you guys in the next class that will be on next Saturday. Bye. Take care. Good day. Good night.